Hello everyone, let me introduce myself. My name is Danielson. I am from Study Program Information System. Today I'm gonna present to you the PowerPoint that I made about TOGAF. So without wasting more time, let's just begin the presentation. Table of content. There are three parts inside this PowerPoint. The first one is introduction. The second one is discussion, where we will gonna talk about the definition of TOGAF, the architecture domain, and the components of TOGAF. And the third part of the PowerPoint is conclusion. Moving on to the first part, introduction. TOGAF was initiated in the early 1990s as methodology for the development of technical architecture, and has been developed by the Open Group into an extensive enterprise architecture framework. The first version of TOGAF, which is TOGAF 1.0, was published by the Open Group in 1995. The latest version is TOGAF 10, launched on 25 April 2022. The Open Group is an international organization with over 600 members from a broad variety of disciplines. Moving on to the second part, that is discussion. As I said before, in this part I'm gonna talk about three things. The first one is the definition, and the second one is the architectural domain, and the last one is the component of TOGAF. First, the definition of TOGAF. The Open Group Architecture Framework, or TOGAF, is a framework, a detailed method, and a set of supporting tools for planning, developing, maintaining, and gaining value from an enterprise architecture. It may be used freely by any organizations wishing to develop enterprise architecture for use within that organization. The second part, that is architectural domain. There are four main architectural domains inside TOGAF. The first one is business architecture. The second one is application architecture. The third one is data architecture. And the last one is technical architecture. Business architecture formulates key business processes, governance guidelines, organization structure, and business strategy into a well-defined and well-understood. The second one is application architecture, provides a blueprint of the applications that need to be developed to support the business goals, describe the logical surface definition of the applications to be created, and description of the interface that represents the given service. The third one is the data architecture. Data architecture is the architectural domain under which logical and physical data models are developed. Activities include developing new data modes and refactoring existing ones. Identifies data management tools and technologies. And the last architectural domain is the technical architecture. The logical software and hardware capabilities that are required to support the deployment of business, data, and application service. This includes IT infrastructure, middleware, networks, communication, processing, and standards. Moving on to the third part of discussion, that is components of TOGAF. There are 6 components of TOGAF. The first one is Architecture Development Method, or ADM. The second one is ADM Guidelines and Techniques. The third one is Architecture Content Framework. The fourth one is the Enterprise Continuum. The next one is TOGAF Reference Models. And the last one is the Architecture Capabilities Framework. Architecture Deployment Method, or ADM. The ADM central to TOGAF, which describes a method for developing and managing the life cycle of an enterprise architecture, and forms the core of TOGAF. It integrates elements of TOGAF to meet the business and IT needs of an organization. The second one is ADM guidelines and technique. Contains a collection of guidelines and technique for use in applying TOGAF and the ADM. The guidelines document how to adapt the ADM process, where the techniques are used when applying the ADM process. Next component is Architecture Content Framework. Provides a detailed model of architectural work product, including deliverables, artifact within deliverables, and the architecture building block or ABB that deliverables represent. The next part is the enterprise continuum. Provide a model for structuring a virtual repository, and they provide method for classifying architecture and solution artifact, showing how the different types of artifact evolve and how they can be leveraged and reused. Next, the TOGAF reference model. This part provides two architectural reference models, namely the TOGAF Technical Reference Model or TRM and the Integrated Information Infrastructure Reference Model or IIIRM. The last component is the Architecture Capabilities Framework, a set of resources, guidelines, templates, background information, etc. provided to help the architect establish an architecture practice within our organizations. And moving on to the last part of the PowerPoint, that is conclusion. So, the Open Growth Architecture Framework or TOGAF is a framework, a detailed method and a set of supporting tools for planning, developing, maintaining, and gaining value from an enterprise architecture. TOGAF covers the development of four related types of architecture, which is business architecture, application architecture, data architecture, and technical architecture. It may be used freely by any organizations wishing to develop enterprise architecture for use within the organizations. So that's all from me. I apologize if I made a mistake during my presentations. So thank you and have a nice day, everyone.